Now, here's an interesting one about a gal who's 19. 19 years old and already has quite the high number and adventures, if you know what I mean. And her boyfriend, upon finding out about the gist of her past, broke up with her and blocked her. And now she's obviously pissed off about it and ranting about it and all that. It'll be an entertaining one to go over here and to show again what's going to happen. And guys have a right to be choosy. Title: My boyfriend, a 19-year-old male of almost 4 months, broke up with me, a 19-year-old female, after asking and finding about my past SCX life. She says, me and my boyfriend have been together for just shy of 4 months. Around a week ago, we were hanging out and he started asking the questions that you never want to know the answer to. How many before me? The best and the most. Stuff like that. When he first started talking, I knew that it was definitely a risky subject, so I told him a few, and he didn't really take that in pride, and I told him that I didn't really know anymore. You know it's pretty bad when you don't even know a number. I mean, come on here. In the teens, in the 20s, in the 30s, you just stop counting at one point? He wanted me to explain it, so I did. My ex was interested in a certain lifestyle that led me to being with many guys. So obviously her ex, and again, she's only 19. I'm guessing probably into group activities, 3-somethings, you get the point. And again, she's 19. I'm not ashamed or embarrassed about being promiscuous. I'd probably do it again now that I'm single. He seemed a little shocked, I understood, but then he asked more of these questions. I'm not too shy about it, and I thought maybe he's into it. Not super surprising, all things considered, so I shared, gave him all the details he asked for, extra, and spared a few. He asked if I still talked to any of them, and I told him no. I stopped all that when we started out. I thought he asked all this because it was hot to him. No, it wasn't hot to him. He wanted to know what he'd gotten himself into. And notice she said that in the beginning he asked, and she gave him some information, which means she was lying, that he pried, and then she started giving him a lot more, but there's no way he didn't get everything. It turns out he was asking all this to understand how big of a mistake he was making. He looked at me after he ran out of questions and just said, I need to think. He left, and then I didn't hear anything for 2 days. Because he was probably taking a shower for 2 days. He was probably gargling mouthwash for 2 days. He's probably in a hazmat suit or something. He finally texted me saying that he wasn't comfortable dating me anymore and blocked me on everything. I don't feel ashamed or gross. I'm more shocked. I'm sad that if a guy slept around, he'd be king of the world, but if I do it, then I get dumped. Most guys don't have the numbers like gals do nowadays. Only a small percentage of guys are capable of that. And also, it's much easier for a gal, let's be honest here. But thanks to the sexual revolution and feminism, the interpretations nowadays, you can't be a modern power girl unless you're hooking up with the whole college. No guy wants that. Sometimes life is just unfair. I was upset at first, but I won't let this bring me down or stop me from enjoying a life of pleasure. Define pleasure. Chocolates and ice cream or sausage and bananas? As an edit, she says, I'll do it again. Was not said during the conversation. It's my viewpoint now as a single woman and was not my viewpoint during the relationship. I want to be clear. I'm not judging him. Yes, you are. I don't feel entitled to his love. I'm not slandering his preference or anything like that. I'm upset that it happened because I wish that something like body count doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to a lot of gals because in their mind, a guy that had a higher body count, and I'm saying not all gals, but a lot, shows that a lot of women are into him. So when they get a guy that has a lot bigger body count, a lot of girls like him, they're thinking, I got a prize. But when a guy is a girl that hooked up with Lord knows how many dudes, it's like, oh, Jesus, that's not a prize to them. My past shouldn't matter, and if it does, ask day one, not 4 months after we started dating. Communicate, ask what my preferences are. There are many ways to resolve this with issue of insecurities. They always throw the insecurity issue. It's not insecure. It's just a guy has a right to choose. Yes, as the gal has a right to choose. And with their body and that whole 9 yards. But again, she didn't tell him this stuff. She said he didn't ask. Yeah, but there's a thing called lying by omission. She also says, I'm not whining about being dumped. Yes, you are. My issue that women's bodies cannot be their own. If I do something with it, I'm going to get hate, disgust left by the guy who isn't some angel. I'm heeding others' advice, the ones saying I shouldn't have lied. Different preferences, shit like that. You were not there. You weren't part of the conversation that was riddled with his insecurities. start doing shots every time these gals say insecure. It's not insecure, honey. I'm sorry that I didn't want to post every line of the conversation, but please don't act like this. Something that you are part of, know all logic can apply. I'm not a brat. I'm a gal who like to be able to enjoy pleasure without 5 billion men telling me I'll regret it or I'm immature. Well, that's spoken like a true teenager. I don't need anybody telling me what to do. I know everything. You'll learn. Also, all the teenage comments. I'm 19, I have my own place, I make my own money, I put my own food on the table, and I'm an adult who can have whatever lifestyle I want. I might make bad decisions, but I can reconcile with that. Don't act like you're so much better and wise because you're 30 on Reddit. Well, if she's 19 and she's paying all her bills and taking care of herself, hey, I respect that. Great. But these decisions you're making are going to be a problem down the road. And he is not going to be the first guy that's going to be like, oh, Jesus, and not be interested. And he has a right to be. So she must understand this. And she also says, I'm not really judging those who are 30, and on Reddit, I still want to be on here too. Well, she's judging. But anyway, guys, yet another one. These things are popping up left and right. I'm sure you've noticed them. It's not like I'm searching for these things. They just keep dropping on me left and right. So, guys, you have a right to break up with a gal, reject her if you don't like things about her past. Women certainly break up with guys for far less, so we're allowed to be selective too. It's not a capital crime. So, but as you're going to see, more and more of these things are going to be popping up left and right every day. So it's important that young people understand, both men and women, things you do when you're younger may not think is a big deal. They could come back to haunt you down the road. So you must think twice before you spread them.